this is part 14 of our 100% walkthrough for Link to the Past, and this is probably getting a heart piece from the digging game. We get the Cane of Byrna, or the blue cane. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Oh, who knows?
We get the Bombos Medallion, and then we'll end by entering the Swamp Palace.
Now, neither of the items that we get in this part, the cane or the Bombos Medallion, are required to beat the game, but they're both pretty cool.
The Bombos, okay, the cane's just
yeah.
But the Bombos Medallion, yeah, it's not required, but if you're like, yes, it's required. Because it's like awesome and it just blows up everything.
Now, we
gotta get out ranking mode, Red.
I know.
Behind the scenes, we just did a bunch of rankings. They're like in a totally different mode than like commentary right now, so it's just kind of weird. But
we're gonna go get the heart piece. I was like, I don't even know what we're doing right now.
Well, actually, man, that heart piece, and it's actually random within the save file. Like I've kind of talked about this before, like how some things are random, but they're the same within the save file. Like this,
well, it's just like the treasure chest game we just played a couple parts ago, where. At least this time, though, I'm pretty sure we get lucky and get it on.
We get on the first try, and I remember when I was recording, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, like I've played this digging game like numerous times. And it's 80 rupees, so it costs quite a bit of money.
It does.
And so when I got the first time, like you talk about, like sometimes when you're recording, like you get really nervous. I was like, don't screw this up. You just notice on the first try, don't screw up the rest of the recording.
Well, the problem is it's such a big area you have to dig in. It's like you could do this over and over and over again. It's similar to the treasure chest, like you said, like the treasure chest game where you're trying to pick the right one.
Yeah, but that one, well, you can make a little bit of money back here, and I think you always get like a red one. So it costs 80 rupees. You really don't lose too much, but like you said, I mean, I remember the first time we recorded this game way back in the day, and it took me a good 10 or 15 tries to pull this one off.
And I do think you had the right strategy. Just basically go in a straight line. I mean, if you're in the right place, you're in the right place, but trying to dig randomly everywhere.
I'm not saying it's ever going to not be on the outside, but like I usually almost always dig in the middle because I never think it's going to be on the outside. And I can't remember many people saying it was on the outside.
And just like the treasure chest game, as soon as we got that heart piece, we were walking out.
Oh, definitely.
Like in the treasure chest game, we didn't even bother opening.
Well, I think we're out of time right there, weren't we?
I think like 2
Once
seconds.
Again, I was actually not even watching the video. I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm not even watching. So,
I mean, how useful though has warping already become? We just got the flute not that long ago, and the warping ability. You're gonna see we use that quite a bit from here on out in the game.
As I said in the last part, I believe like we're back in the light world doing quite a bit of stuff, and already like one dungeon in, like the item, the hammer, and like do we need anything else? I think just a hammer. Actually has allowed us to do a lot of stuff that we weren't able to do when we originally were in the light world.
Which we needed the hammer to get the Cane of Byrna, which were Byrna.
You almost said Byrna. You almost said Byrna. You did say Byrna.
Byrna. We don't know. We don't know what it is. It's a cane.
Yeah.
But we need the hammer to
get it.
Cane.
I'm calling it the blue cane.
We need the hammer to get it. We don't need the cape that we got a little while ago, but it does make it so much easier because
it definitely helps.
As you'll see, we have to walk.
And the magic meter upgraded because we're using that cape for a very long time, and the cape drains that magic meter. So I never have liked this part right here.
Me neither.
And you'll see why on the way back, like we get very close. One thing I was trying to avoid was beeping hearts.
Yes.
And we get very close to that, but one of the strategies that I do know is after you get to this part and get the blue cane, it's best just to actually save and quit.
Yep.
And then you'll respawn like at the last place somewhere in Dark World or something like that.
Areas in the Dark World. Another strategy, like if you actually have a couple of the potions that refill your magic meter, you could actually top off your magic meter and walk back out without taking any damage. But who carries potions that refill your magic meter?
And then right here, I was just trying to walk through some of it, then use my magic cape again. I did avoid beeping hearts, but just a really pain in the butt area. And the item, I mean, it's more of a defensive item.
That's all it is.
It is a defensive item that basically just shields you. Not really that useful, but I think you might see us using in like 1 or 2 places.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but then again, you're the one who recorded this.
I think I used it maybe in Gan's Tower in one section because I kind of couldn't get through this one section, so I used it there.
Yeah.
And I believe that might be the only time.
Now, it is possible to get that cane without using the magic cape if you have a couple fairies.
You already said that, I think.
No, as I said I said if you had the magic potions.
Oh, okay. Well, then magic potions, fairies, they're the same thing, basically. They both restore your health.
Yeah, but if you have a few fairies, you can get through it. You'll just go through them.
Yeah,
But I really liked what you did.
But you don't want to use your fairies.
No.
I mean, you don't want to waste them on spice for something you really don't need in the game. So
well, I like what you did here though to come back to the Great Fairy Fountain to refill your heart, since we were down to 3 of them there after going through that ordeal.
Well, I knew like if I took one shot, I was basically going to be beeping hard, so I wanted to make sure I didn't want to do that. And like I said, we try to stay away from that in our recordings. I feel like that's like the 20th time I've mentioned that in this 7-minute part right here.
Possibly.
There's not a lot going on in this part.
No, I mean we're gonna go get the medallion now. And
now that's something going on right there.
I do actually like this a little bit because again, it's one of those areas where it's an area we couldn't reach without warping to it from the Dark World.
Yeah.
And I just really like how there's those little differences between the Light World and the Dark World, but it's enough to give us access to a couple of items. I mean, obviously that's how they designed it. But
we had talked about that, but one thing like I kind of did like going along with what you're saying is it was just a new concept at that time. Like you had to think about things differently in this game because you could never do things like this on the NES system.
Now, I like the markers they gave you there. Like in that case, it was a couple of those posts that tell you where the ledge is. So it's just nice to kind of have at least
I wonder what this is here for. Like,
exactly.
Now, I know that you nailed down all those pegs the first time, did you?
Oh, I definitely
that's what I did. Like, I hammered all those down.
It's a Zelda game.
And I was like, well, that was a waste of time. But at least I got to hammer something.
Yep, that's...
There's no women walking around here, so...
I can make all kinds of jokes about that. Now, the Bombos Medallion, like we said, it's not necessary, but we do use it a little bit later on. But I love how the picture on it is almost the same picture as the Forest Medallion from Ocarina of Time.
I didn't really notice that, and we even talked about it before the video. I still forgot to look at it. But
once again, we're not looking at what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly right.
When do we ever?
I think we're making our way to the Swamp Palace now, aren't we?
Yes, we are, and we're going to see again something we've mentioned is how things in the Dark World or things in the Light World
change the Dark
World, and we're actually really going to see that here in effect.
And I like this next dungeon. Now we won't talk about too much right here.
But
it's really like one of our favorite dungeons in the game, and just. Like you'll see, like right here, kind of, you can already see we're dealing with water.
Oh yeah.
It's called the Swamp Palace, so kind of a water dungeon, but it was like the water dungeons before. The water dungeons.
And I thought the Swamp Palace was a bit of an odd name for it, considering we'll actually be going into a swamp.
Well, that whole area. Well, that whole area is a swamp, isn't it?
That's
true.
I
think it's more like a marsh. I don't know how different that is, but anyways, this wraps up part 14 of our 100% walkthrough for Link to the Past.